Today we travel back 800 years to meet Basavanna, the man who proved that democracy isn't a Western concept. It is an Indian legacy. Let's dive in. Imagine a world where your last name decided your destiny, where knowledge was locked away, where silence was the only option for the weak. Now imagine a man who stood up in the 12th century and said no more. He was a poet, a mystic, a prime minister, but above all, he was a rebel. While the world slept in darkness, he became the JAGAJYOTHI, the light. I am Dev and this is Jai Hindustan. If you are new here, please like, share and subscribe to join our community. The year was 1134 CE, Basavana Bagewadi, Karnataka. Basava was born into a life of ease, a privileged Brahmin family. His path was paved with a gold set for life of prestige and ritual. But in his belly there was a fire, and on his lips a single inconvenient question, why? The breaking point came at the age of 8. His Upanayana, the sacred thread ceremony. The priests were ready, but Basavanna stopped them. He pointed to his elder sister Nagamma and asked, if this thread brings me closer to God, why can't she wear it too? When they told him traditions forbade women and lower castes, Basavanna did the unthinkable. He rejected the thread, he rejected the irachi. He walked away from his home, his parents and his privilege. He exchanged comfort for a solitary search for a truth that treated everyone as equal. His journey took him to Kudala Sangama, where he spent 12 years mastering the Vedas and Shastras. He didn't lose himself in the ancient books. He armed himself with their knowledge. Armed with this wisdom, Basavanna moved to the capital, Kalyana. He started at the absolute bottom, a simple clerk, but genius cannot be hidden. His honesty and brilliance caught the eye of King Vijaya of the Kalachuri dynasty. Basavanna rose rapidly through the ranks from an accountant to the Mahamantri, the prime minister. Usually power corrupts, but for Basavanna, power was a surgical tool. He didn't just sit on a throne, he used his authority to go straight to the streets, determined to heal a society wounded by caste and exclusion. 1169 CE, Basavanna established something the world had never seen before, the Anubhava Mandapa. Historians call the Magna Carta the beginning of democracy, but decades before the Magna Carta, Basavanna created a spiritual parliament. A king's court was for the elite, but in Basavanna's Mandapa, the doors were open to everyone. Cobblers like Madara Chennaya sat next to scholars. Tanners like Dohara Kakkaya debated with mystics. Women like Akka Mahadevi argued philosophy with men. Caste, gender and wealth were left at the door. Their discussions were recorded as vachanas, simple, powerful poetry that the common man could understand. Basavanna gave India 3 gifts that defined his revolution. Number 1, Kayaka, dignity of labor. He declared work is worship. Whether you are a prime minister or a sweeper, your honest work is your path to liberation. No job is low, no job is high. Number 2 is Dasoha, charity. It wasn't enough to earn, you had to share. He taught you are not the owner of your wealth, just a trustee for the poor. A radical redistribution of dignity. Number 3, Ishtalinga, the moving temple. He saw the temples were controlled by priests who bared the lower castes, so he gave people the Ishtalinga, a small personal symbol of Shiva worn on the body. He essentially made every human body a moving temple by passing the rigid priestly class, but society wasn't ready for such radical equality. The tension reached a boiling point when Basavanna supported an action that shook the empire's foundation. It was an intercaste marriage between the child of a cobbler and the child of a Brahmin. A union that broke every rule. The conservatives were furious. They poisoned King Vijaya's mind against Basavanna. The king, under immense pressure, ordered a brutal crackdown. The fathers of the bride and the groom were sentenced to death. Heartbroken by the violence and the king's betrayal of justice, Basavanna did not choose to fight with the swords. He resigned as prime minister. He did not want his revolution to turn into a bloodbath. He quietly left the city, traveling back to where his journey began, Kudala Sangama. In his wake, Kalyana burned in a violent revolution. The king was assassinated. Basavanna's followers, the Sharanas, scattered across India, carrying his vachanas in their hearts and bundles ensuring his philosophy survived the destruction. In 1196 CE, Basavanna attained Aikya merging with the divine. He was not just a saint, he was a Yuga Purusha, a man of era. His vachanas echo across 800 years. Compassion is the root of religion. Things standing shall fall, but the moving shall ever stay. Today, as we fight for equality, dignity of labor, and human rights, we realize that Basavanna was centuries ahead of us. He is the true forgotten architect of social democracy in India. I am Dev, and you are watching Jai Hindustan.